From Carolla One Studios in Glendale, California, this is the Adam Carolla Show. Adam's guest today, celebrity fitness trainer and podcaster Vinny Tortorich, and comedian Ben Glebe. Plus the news and trending topics with me, Mike Dawson, and now throwing his hat in the ring for the soon-to-be open border czar position, Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on. No choice but to get it on. Yeah, open border czar position.
Right.
Because it is. That's the position it is. It's the open border position. So we might as well just jump right off with that and Kamala because people are revisiting a lot of her best of hits from the last few years. She's the spokeschild for the word salad crowd, which I've been complaining about for a very long time. It's extra talk, and I don't know why, but extra talk, I have an aversion to it that goes deeper than just being bothered or annoyed.
Sure.
It fucks with me in the weirdest little stupid ways. Like every time I go through Clear, it goes... it takes a picture of your eyes at the airport, and then it goes, picture complete of your eyes.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, just cut it at picture complete. You had me. We were done. You didn't have to say of eyes. And then everyone looks at me like I'm an insane person. But that's where tampering with disabling or destroying the smoke detector thing, it literally feels like fingernails on a chalkboard to me because it's just weird extra talk.
Yes.
And we don't need it. And I think when people go, well, the number one answer for most people, which is sort of like, so what? It's sort of the Mike August answer when I used to tell him, hey, Mike, the Irvine show was sold out 2 weeks ago. Why are we still plugging it on the podcast? And go, how could it hurt?
How can it hurt?
It's like, well, you're right. We could just talk about tons of shit that didn't exist or has no landing spot in our society reality. You're right.
Right.
We could be talking about Narnia. But that's how people's kind of approach. And so when you're watching the word salad, now the word salad is chick thing. Chicks do a lot of extra word salading. Ben Shapiro doesn't do a lot of extra word salad talk. Word salad is invented for dumb people in positions of power.
To sound smart.
Yeah, I mean, we go back to my old extra cop talk bit, but cops have to talk, at some point, there's going to be some cop. And who's this cop? He's one of the dumber guys you went to high school with from the JV football team, right? And now he's in charge. Mm-hmm. And now he's 26. And at some point, he's going to pull over Mark Garagos. And he doesn't really want to have a battle of wits with Mark Garagos. So he's going to do the extra filibustering talk, right? So Kamala Harris is dumb, and many of the women you see are dumb, but many of the politicians you see are dumb, male and female. So they do extra talking. Mm-hmm. And the extra talk is to sort of cover for them. Now, very precise people and smart people don't want to waste time with extra syllables because it takes away from the time they could be spending on your... So
I'm into the economy of words, and I got a great example of this, but continue.
Right. You'll notice airline pilots don't do a lot of extra word salad talk because they have to just move, make decisions, and that's how the military works. You know, they don't have time for any extra talk. So Kamala Harris does a lot of extra word salad talk, but so does Gavin Newsom. Mm-hmm. It's a trait of the left because it's sort of a feelings-based versus actual policies and ideas and facts. And they don't really like numbers and data and stuff like that. They like good vibes. So I was just watching the Secret Service head up there, Cheadle, being grilled, and all the people from the left just did where they go, we're zero tolerance for violence. It's never okay for people to say, I will never, and it's all these bizarre proclamations. you can make all the proclamations you want. It doesn't do anything about the bullets flying. I have no idea why we're even in the proclamation. The people who should make the least are politicians. You guys, boots on the ground, take care of business. It's never okay for people to fire a bunch. Yeah, I know it's never okay, except for it happens all the time, and we're trying to figure out how to stop it. That is never. This is a gun-free zone. No student should ever go to school and think about gun. I know nobody should ever anything. Let's just widen it out. Nobody should ever die, ever, of any circumstances, ever. Okay? That's my policy. Okay? Now, can we move on with childhood leukemia or whatever the fuck we're trying to talk about here?
Yes.
Okay. So Kamala she's the word salad. But first, tip of the cap to our good friend Gavin Newsom.
Oh, boy.
Because the New York Post put out a headline just 2 weeks ago, basically saying that Kamala Harris is going to be the first DEI president, right? America may soon be subjected to the country's first DEI president, Kamala Harris. I don't know what could be more accurate than that statement. Joe Biden said the vice president's going to have to be a woman. She's going to have to be black. Mm-hmm. I will get back to you on who it is, but that much we know. And then we'll take a group, a huge ocean of potential vice presidents. We will take Lake Superior potential vice presidents, and we'll shrink it down to a teaspoon.
Right.
Because she's going to have to be female, and she's going to have to be black. She's not going to have to be the best. She's not going to have to be smart. She may be a word salad person, but this is who I'm pulling for. And then some weeks later, I guess, or immediately thereafter, ended up with Kamala Harris. And then New York Post said, first DEI president. Then Gavin Newsom the man has a crystal ball. I'm telling you, this is 2 weeks old. Newsom made this statement, and I think Byron has it. He tweeted this out. Sorry. Can you read it from there?
Yeah, it says, Joe Biden is our next president.
All right, let's stop there. Prescient, right?
Yep.
He knows, but nobody has his finger on the pulse of politics more than Gavin Newsom. Right. This fucking thing is 15 days old. So, A, stupid or liar. All right, anyway, just wrong. Out of the gate, Joe Biden's going to be our next president.
1, Joe Biden is our next president. 2, this is straight up racist.
Well, first off, who's the racist in this equation? You said I'm hiring a black woman. I don't really care who it is, but she's got to be black. She's got to be a woman. That's DEI. Diversity, right? Mm-hmm. That's what we're talking about. All right. That was you. That's your side, Newsom. You made the proclamation. Your side made the proclamation. That's diversity, equity, inclusion. That's what this is. That's what you want. That's why you made the proclamation.
That's what they searched for. That's what they got. There it is.
All right. So now she's going to be, or could potentially be, the first DEI. Why is that a racist statement? They didn't think of that. You thought that. That's your statement.
The racist argument is an argument for people who are out of argument.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, so there you go, Gavin. 0 for 1, certainly with the Joe Biden as our next president proclamation. Now, Kamala, a lot of people are revisiting her been to the border thing with Lester Holt. Poor Lester Holt. He gets all the fucking shit assignments where he has to just sit there and just listen to the person lie for a while and then
not ask follow-up questions.
Well, to be fair to Lester, he did say, you haven't been to the border.
Yes. And she hasn't been to Europe either.
Right. Now, here's what you have to think about with this. And here's the part that makes her exceedingly bad at what she does. And probably just a crazed narcissist. By the way, can you guys think about this? I'm going to get Vinny's in the next room. I'll get him fired up.
Right.
Joe Biden, 81 years old. Kamala Harris, turning 60. Those are the, president and the vice president for the end of this year, but those have been running the country. Combined age of those two, 141 years on the planet. 141 years on the planet. Neither one of those two has ever spent 1 second in the private sector. They've never had a job. They've never had a business. They've never had to make payroll. They've never had to deal with workman's comp or regulation or OSHA or anything. Biden's career politician since 29. Kamala Harris, career politician. They've never ran a fucking hot dog stand.
Correct.
I do not want those people in charge. People think it's, oh, well, so what? What's the difference? No, there's a fucking huge difference. Anybody who's tried to work in the private sector and had to deal with the stranglehold that government regulation puts on you, you want those people making decisions instead of just regulation after regulation after regulation. We have two people combined, 141 years on the planet, zero work outside of the government.
Yes.
That is fucked up, and that's where their fucked up decisions come from. You want someone who's just ran a business for 20 years who can go in.
Right.
And then understand it from both sides.
But those people who went with the government and were employed and paid for by the government for so long are going to do everything they can to keep the government stronger to keep on paying them.
Yes, and that's what we're dealing with. Anyway, we have Lester Holt. I hope this is enough here. Let's see. Oh, the sound's not up, Dawson. Have you ever experienced that here before?
We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
I don't understand the point that you're making.
That is the entire point of this vid to me. It's not the Europe line. Yeah. It's not. Okay, there's two things that you guys should try to wrap your heads around. One is she was appointed border czar and had to sit down with Lester Holt for a national news organization interview. So get your shit together a little bit beforehand and go ahead and anticipate the fact that he may ask if you've been to the border. In which case, your answer is, not yet, Lester, but I'm making plans still.
She had to 100% know that question was coming up. There's no way that she didn't. That was the purpose of this interview.
Why did she answer it? Why did she not have an answer?
Because there is no answer or justification to what's going on.
No,
so the only
hold
play
on,
they
hold on,
have
hold
is
on.
to feign confusion.
There is no. I mean, maybe. I don't like to say no.
Okay.
But I will say, all Joe Biden has done over the last 3 years is make up shit when people asked him stuff. But he was ready. You know what I mean? Your son, Hunter Biden, I've never spoke to my son. What? He didn't go, huh? What? I don't know. Right. He just went, I've never spoke to my son ever about any of his business dealings ever. He's ready. He knows. That's the answer if you listen. I don't think she likes to do homework. And I don't think she likes her lieutenants kind of telling her what to say. But if she listened to any of them, she'd go, Lester, we haven't been yet, but it's I'm planning on it. And obviously, I don't have to physically stand there to know what's going on. I get all the data, but I'm still going out to see for myself.
That would
and
be
then
a very
he just
smart
backs
and
off.
reasonable
He just
thing
says
to
nothing
say.
after that. But you just go, no. But yeah, the part where she goes, I don't understand the point you're making. So this is what makes her exceptionally stupid. You've been appointed.
It's a facile analogy, too, to say, I haven't been to Europe. Europe does not border the United States of America.
Oh, no. Listen, of course.
They have nothing to do with each other.
It's all stupid, but at least that's a comeback, although it doesn't have anything to do with anything. But the statement, I don't understand the point you're making, that's the one that's clinically insane. Because if somebody said to me, Adam, you've been appointed the new czar of Disneyland. Have you been there? And I went, I haven't been to Knott's Berry Farm either. What's the point? Yeah. And you go, but you're the czar of Disneyland. Right. Have you been there? And I'd go. I would be an insane person if I went, I don't understand your point. Like anybody who's put in charge of anything, whether it's an amusement park or border, and somebody says, have you been there? Let's just say you're put in charge of the Ford van factory in Dearborn, Michigan. And then someone said, have you been to the factory? You wouldn't go, I don't understand what your question is. You just go, no, but I'm planning on it, or yes. Which, by the way, first thing you should do is just go do it.
Yeah, no, she didn't see. The first thing she should have done when she was made the border czar is go to the border.
Right, but she didn't want to be. It's such a shit show.
She knows.
She didn't want her name attached to the shit show.
That's true, and maybe that's why she's playing dumb with Lester Holt, because she's like, not my fault.
She shouldn't say. Dumb people shouldn't say dumb things out loud in front of smart people. All right, that's my bumper sticker for today.
Let me tag that really quick. You're talking about extra words. One that always bothers me, and I watched a press conference with Karine Jean-Pierre.
She does a lot.
She does a lot of it. And about four times.
If you hear at the end of the day a lot, and if also you hear things from, if you hear this one, she does a lot of, I'm not going to answer that from here. Oh, what are we doing? Later in your bathroom?
Right.
Bitch, this is what you do. Stop saying from here. You take the podium and then you answer questions. So this is not the proper setting for you to answer questions from here. I'm not going to do that from here.
The one that gets me, the one that always bothers me, this grates me. This to me is nails on a chalkboard. When someone says 7 a.m. in the morning, we're clear. 7 a.m. is perfectly clear. Karine Jean-Pierre said 7 a.m. in the morning like 5 times when she was defending Biden's debate performance.
She needs to talk as much as she possibly can and add nothing as much as she possibly can, because she has the hardest job in America.
Right.
She has a decaying, decrepit, diseased liar, and she has to go up there and spin whatever the fucking craziness he said the day before into something. And it's really just, she doesn't do a good job of it, but it's an impossible, thankless task.
Oh, yeah.
It's undoable.
Oh, no, worst job in the world.
Yeah. All right. One last thing. You got news, right?
We got some. It's all reactions to what happened this weekend.
Every time. Now, the thing that's funny, and Byron, you can pull up the song "The Night That Kenny Died" by John Hyatt. It always makes me laugh. It's an old John Hyatt song. Like it's a song from 79, maybe 78. Like it's real old. It's before folksy John Hyatt came around. But still, it has a sort of clever, funny John Hyatt stuff, because John Hyatt songs always had like a little twist and were kind of funny, kind of clever.
Happening right now.
Right
so now. There has never been a more accomplished president in our lifetime. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I know.
If the accomplishment is to destroy the middle class and the United States of America, done.
It's the night that Kenny died. He was a horrible, shitty. And by the way, here's the other thing too, everybody. When people do this, good dude, good family guy, he cared. No, he got a shit. His fucking has a junkie son. His other daughter had to go to rehab. He has a granddaughter he won't acknowledge, and he sends his son all over the place and fucking hammers checks. His brother's getting paid. He's got like 233 LLCs and offshore accounts and stuff like that. He's a corrupt politician who doesn't give a fuck about his biological grand. He's not a good dude.
He's not a good dude.
And his policies suck. See, people always go, I don't think Trump's a good dude either. And I go, I don't give a fuck. If we can get gas under $5 a gallon, then he can do whatever the fuck he wants at home. That's what I'm trying to tell everyone. Like, it's not a popularity contest. It's either good policy or shit policy. But anyway, not a good dude and a shit president. And now everyone has to do the make room on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
This guy got more done in 3.5 years than most presidents do in 2 terms. Like,
he got more vacation done than any president in history. He spent the whole time at his Delaware beach house.
And he fucking lied his ass off. Like, if you want to go back, look, there's detractors. Fine. Everyone's a liar. All politicians are a liar.
Sure.
Which is fine. The difference is the people who hate Trump go, he's a liar. And I go, yeah, okay, he's a liar. 3,000 people, no, sorry, 300,000 people show up at the inauguration. He says 500,000 people show up at the inauguration. Okay, that's me playing a 1,200-seat room and tell my girlfriend it's a 2,000-seater.
It's me telling you the fish I caught was 28 inches when it was 12.
Right. It's fine. I mean, I can't say that I would hope for that my son to possess that trait. He stands on there on the debate stage. he has a document that his office sent to the FBI and the CIA, cooked it up, told 51 intel experts to all sign a document that doesn't exist, even though they know the Biden laptop is real. And then he just looks down the camera lens and goes, 51 intelligence experts. He knows it's fake. He knows it's full of shit. He knows that was cooked up by his office. He's a fucking liar. All right. The least I'll give you is they're both liars. But don't do this thing where he's some sort of virtuous...
He's a hero
now. No, he's a fucking incompetent liar. And he lied about his condition over the last couple of years. He's talking to Parkinson doctors and everything else. So, okay. He's fucking horrible, but now we're going to have to build him up, which is smart. So he's getting the Kenny treatment. He got the Kenny died treatment.
Yep.
So he's a hero, but he's around to enjoy it.
Yep. The thing that struck me in the Kenny song was, it's a high school kid, the high school nerd dies. Everybody all of a sudden makes him a martyr or a hero. But a lot of those people in the high school are doing it for themselves.
Yeah.
We want to feel good about ourselves because we didn't pick on this dude and maybe in the same case, people are backtracking, covering their asses, saying, "I always backed him. I loved him." There's a correlation in there somewhere. I'm not quite sure.
What they're doing is they're trying to get someone voted in who's basically simpatico on all his shit policy. So they're going to have to turn the shit policy into good policy, so we can vote for her. All right.
She didn't make it past the Iowa caucuses in the primary. She didn't get one vote.
It's going to be fun. That's all. And listen, all you DEI hires, slow your fucking roll next time. I love the fact that this is going to bite them in the ass. I love it when they do a shit job because you shouldn't be doing that, especially with the country. Do it at your fucking preschool. Do not do it with the country. They could have a competent person in there. First off, Joe Biden may not wake up tomorrow morning.
Right.
We need someone to run the country, and you have an incompetent fucking word salad chick who's in there. And I don't care what you guys think or good vibes or whatever it is. Go do your homework on her. There's nothing there.
All they got is good vibes on that one.
All right. Let's do a little news.
All right. Well, Hollywood is reacting to President Biden. We got... We got Ariana Grande, Streisand, Jamie Lee Curtis, Mark Hamill, just a few of the Hollywood stars who weighed in on Biden's monumental decision. And to respond to this, quote, historic moment, Barbara Streisand said she commended Biden for his work in his White House and wrote, "Joe Biden will go down in history as a man who accomplished significant achievements in his 4-year term. We should be grateful for his upholding of our democracy."
Is she going to get on the list? Now, listen, remember everybody, if you do think democracy is going to end, then you do think there will be a target on your back and you're going to end up in a gulag, then you leave. You don't talk about it. You don't tweet about it. You leave. And by the way, now's about the time you'd leave if you believed it. None of these celebrities believe it.
No.
But if they did, now's the time to start heading to Canada.
Right.
All right.
And I mean, just the whole upholding of our democracy, I don't think they're allowed to say that anymore when they're trying to award delegates to someone else without a democratic process.
It's all beautiful.
But they back themselves into this corner. Star Wars actor. I love how you got to say Star Wars actor Mark Hamill because the only other thing he was in was Corvette Summer.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Mark
He's
Hamill.
gone nuts.
Dude, he's gone nuts.
I know. What's his comment?
Well, everyone's saying the same thing. He praised Biden for his, quote, record of accomplishments unmatched by any president in our lifetime. He restored honesty, dignity, and integrity to the office after 4 years of lies, crime, scandal, and chaos. Thank you for your service, Mr. President. It's now our duty as patriotic Americans to elect the Democrat who will honor and further your legacy.
All I really notice with Biden is everything's more expensive. That's all. That's my. And there's Ukraine and Israel as well. But all I really notice is everything's more expensive. it's weird because people will go, I've created 2 million new jobs and we brought inflation down 2.7% in the last 8. And I'm like, everything is just more expensive. That's all I know. That's all I know. No one can buy a house. A Pollo Loco's $30. That's all I got.
Cher got in on the game.
Oh, she's good.
Cher said, in my heart, I'm tortured.
Is it possible that people are this tortured? Have you passed her house in Malibu on PCH?
Yeah. No,
she wants $75 million.
Yeah.
You could find a room that's torture-proof.
These people also have the capability to leave the country. You have the means.
If anyone could leave, it's Cher. Yeah. Yep. You should do what I told Harvey Weinstein to do all those years ago. Fucking fuel up that jet and get the hell out.
She says, in my heart, I'm tortured because I don't believe the Democrats can win the presidency with Pres Biden. Joe, who I've loved since we met in 2008, I campaigned for him. I believe it's time to pass the baton.
Yeah.
Think for Dems, time for Dems to think. I hate people. As much as I love the economy of words, there's still words. Stop using numbers. Time for Dems to think way outside the box. Maybe even a split ticket.
I don't know what that means.
I don't. It means a Republican and a Democrat running together.
Oh, you mean vice president?
Yeah.
Oh.
It'd be what she's probably going is she's probably saying, grab Nikki Haley, and you'll get those votes.
All right.
Ariana Grande said some stuff. I don't really care about what she says. Jamie Lee Curtis wrote on her social media platforms, I support wholeheartedly Joe Biden and his decision to step down to endorse unreservedly Kamala Harris. She is trusted and tested, in all caps, and she is a fierce advocate for women's rights and people of color, and her message is one of hope and unity for America at her time of great national divide.
Oh, hope and unity. Just talk about hope and having a seat at the table, and no child should go to bed hungry. The word salad, it's so attractive to dumb people.
It is.
You got to be dumb.
Yeah. The whole thing about being able to be without being burdened by what was or has been.
Oh,
that whole thing.
Byron can find that, but it's the future unburdened by what was and what is.
I think that if and hopefully they lose historically, we will finally be unburdened by what has been.
That's good. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'll tell you, Byron, I will tell you Kamala Harris at her most dangerous and worst and scariest. She gave a speech on equity versus equality, and she narrated a cartoon graphic for it, which we could find. But she also sat up on stage and talked about equity versus equality. And for those who think maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit here, you have to really just think about what she's saying and the words she's choosing. So if you think about it, you go, well, I'm going to go up on stage and someone's going to hand me a microphone and there's going to be 8 cameras out there and everyone's going to film me and this is going to live on the internet for the next 1,000 years. And it'll be on the evening news tonight. And I want to talk about equity versus equality. And I'm going to go up there and I'm going to explain that equity is good because, and I always flip-flop equality and equity, but no, equality is good equality because everyone needs the same chance to do everything, and the playing field should be level, and everyone should have the same opportunities in the same country, wherever you come from, whatever your color of skin is. And then I'm going to pause, and I'll go, but it's not fixed. And the reason it isn't is because some people start in different places, and that's why we need to do more. And it's like, listen, people starting in different places, I don't think you're ever going to fix that one unless you confiscate everybody's wealth. There's no,
their wealth, their family, their networks. Their communities.
What do you? So here's the deal. Mark Garagos' dad was an attorney, and Dr. Drew's dad was a doctor, but my dad wasn't a podcaster. We started in very different places.
Yes.
Right? But we both all ended up in La Cañada. So it kind of worked out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know anybody who started off in my place, and I don't know anyone I started off in their place. I don't, everyone's just kind of some people have two parents. Some people have one parent. Some people have no parents. Some people are giving up for adoption. You know what I mean? Like, how are we going to regulate this, Kamala? And listen, your job is to give everyone the same opportunity. Your job isn't to make sure everyone was born with the exact same net worth. How the fuck would that work? I mean, look at Mark Garagos's kids and what they were born into versus my sister's kids and what they were born. Now, someone's going to have to pull up at Mark Garagos's house with a Brinks truck and start filling it with gold bullion and driving it out to my sister's place. And then once she gets a load of bullion, she's going to have to drive the truck out to Sun Valley and find some poor Mexicans and start dropping some shit off. And then they're going to have to go find some people poorer than them who are walking across the border. It's mathematically impossible. Do you have, Byron, the speech or the you have it. I may have brought this up, but put it on the screen if you find it. On my little screen, Byron.
I'm still looking for the other thing. I wanted to make sure I had
okay. Well, you can show me this one.
Yes,
sir. All right. Well, let's see if this is the one I'm talking about.
Imagine a future. The freight trucks that deliver bread and milk to our grocery store shelves, and the buses that take children to school and parents to work. Imagine all the heavy-duty vehicles that keep our supply lines strong and allow our economy to grow. Imagine that they produced zero emissions.
Imagine.
Well, you all imagined it. That's why we're here today. Because we have the ability to see what can be, unburdened by what has been, and then to make the possible actually happen.
All right. That's awesome.
I think that electric bus company
now,
also
Byron,
went bankrupt 3 months after that.
You can find my equity one, but if you want to just use the graph, this is the one I'm talking about. I don't think that people really kind of understand the danger in what people are saying. So Trump made a joke about being dictator on day one, right? So he's sitting with Hannity in front of a live audience, and he's making a joke. He goes, yeah, well, I'll be a dictator day one. Just one day. I'll be a dictator, and we'll drill, and I'll shut the border, and then I'm not going to be a dictator. It's clearly making a joke, and everyone grabs it and runs with it. He said his own words. By the way, and people who plan on being a dictator, don't say it out loud, you fucking retards. Exactly. They do it quietly. But her words about equity here, those are really dangerous, and you have to listen to it because this is how she thinks.
Okay.
We'll see if this is the right clip.
It is our lowest income communities and our communities of color that are most impacted by these extreme conditions and impacted by issues that are not of their own making. And so absolutely. And so we have to address this in a way that is about giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. And if we want people to be in an equal place, sometimes we have to take into account those disparities.
Yeah, that was her. If you show the graphic, there's a cartoon that she narrated about equity. That was in a nutshell, but she gets into real detail. She goes, yeah, we'll level the playing field, but if you started off poor, we're going to have to fix that. Which, first off, that's also, you don't have to fix that. What you have to do is make sure a poor person can get into college, but you don't have to fix the difference between the families who worked hard, stayed intact, and saved their money, and have more, versus the ones that don't have anything because they didn't work at it as hard and they weren't as focused. Oh, here's the cartoon. This is the one. Oh,
God.
This is the great one.
Yeah.
Equity versus equality. This is the one she narrates. This makes... By the way, this is Cuba and socialism and communism. This is what we're talking about here, if you think about what the ethos is.
Correct.
All right, we'll play it for you. Sorry.
Equity. Equality suggests, everyone should get the same amount. The problem with that, not everybody's starting out from the same place. So if we're all getting the same amount, but you started out back there and I started out over here, we could get the same amount, but you're still going to be that far back behind me.
Hold on. Yes.
It's about giving people...
Mark Garagos started off way ahead of me financially. He still is. Mm-hmm. His family has rental property and stuff up and down Foothill, and he runs it, and he has many properties, many things. He's still ahead of me. Started out ahead, still ahead. Mm-hmm. Probably started out ahead of Elon Musk, but now Elon is past Mark Garagos.
True.
See how that works?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to do about that? Well, how do we... So wait,
it's
Mark
funny.
Garagos should give me money, but Elon should give Mark money?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna offer the same stuff, but it doesn't work because you started off, your dad was a transmission mechanic and my dad was a therapist, so I got more money. So you're still behind, bitch. Okay, so she's explaining how this works. Go ahead. And better yet, where's the remedy?
We could get the same amount, but you're still going to be that far back behind me.
Yeah.
It's about giving people the resources and the support they need so that everyone can be on equal footing and then compete on equal footing. Equitable treatment means we all end up at the same place.
We all end up at the same place. Everyone ends up at the same place.
So no merit.
By the way, how would you implement these policies that everyone ended up in the same place?
Communism, and then everybody sucks.
And then what about...
And then everybody's fucked. That's the way it goes.
What about
everybody in the same place means everybody is screwed.
Last I checked, Taylor Swift was kicking your ass, Dawson. I mean, what size venues you playing?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so she's playing...
I want her crowds now.
So she does 7 shows at SoFi.
Yep.
You do 0.
Yep.
So you should get 3.5 shows at SoFi?
Well, also, I mean, she's written hundreds of songs. I've written maybe 20. Mm-hmm. I want more songs. I need more songs, Taylor. So I don't even want, not just the money.
Right.
I want some songs now, too.
And then she probably started off ahead of me. Her family seems like they did better than my family, so we're going to have to work that one.
Yeah, that's very possible.
Listen, this is insane. What Kamala Harris is talking about in this video is socialism, and you should want nothing to do with it. And she should have said, I don't know what the fuck this video is, but I'm not putting my voice on it. This is insane. What am I suggesting? All you can do is say, everyone's going to be treated the same. That's it. We cannot make it. You starting off behind me and me starting off behind her is not fixable. And the second the government tries to fix it, it all turns to shit.